Hey guys, alright, my story I will tell you about my experience in the Canadian Armed Forces. I was a weekend warrior, part of the Canadian Reserves. You know, 1 day a week, 1 weekend a month, and 2 months of the year during the summer. And this is my story about my time at BootCamp. It was weird, I went to Ipperwash. All I remember mostly was a lot of yelling and marching. Mostly yelling at me. And some push-ups, but it got weird there. But first time, it was kind of like summer camp with assault rifles, right? And we live in barracks, and barracks are like 80 guys with bunk beds. And like the bottom guy's head is to the wall, the top guy's head's to the aisle. And every morning we were woken up because our bagpipe player had a sense of humor. He would play his bagpipe right down the center of the barracks. And I was on the top bunk because I was a little guy. And let's just say, when I find that bitch, I'm going to kill him. Till this day, I hunt for him. But we were part of the Queen Zone, so we were your jump corps. So we learned how to jump out of planes. But as the Canadian Armed Forces had their budget cuts, we learned how to jump on the back of a truck. Because we couldn't afford to put a plane in the air for part-time guys. So our jump corps instructor, he was a very interesting individual, so we did all the training, and he said something I will always remember about being prepared. He says, "Do you think you're prepared?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I do." I'm like, "All right, did you pack your chute?" "Yeah, great." So when you jump out of that plane, you pull that ripcord, and that chute doesn't open, just relax, enjoy the view. There's very little you can do now. I'll always remember that. And then I'll always remember my time at the rifle range. Now you gotta understand, I was a kid. I was 5'0", weighed 100 pounds, soaking wet. So we were shooting off the C1A1FN, which is a rifle that's almost 3 feet tall. So the rifle was almost as tall as I was and weighed just over half of me. So here I am marching with this rifle, and it's dragging on the ground, because I basically can't hold it up. We get to the range. We line up. There's a little lump, right, like a little hill. So we line up. We scope. Now I'm barely keeping the rifle up, because, again, it weighs almost as much as me. So I shoot my first round. I pop up. I fly back 2 feet. I cruelly back up. Aim. I go up, I fly back 2 feet, I crawl back up. My warrant officer sees this and takes pity on me. So he walks up behind me, puts boot under each armpit, and his 2 knees the back of my head. So fine, I squeeze off another round. The rifle goes up, I go nowhere, right? So basically, I hit an abandoned car, I think one duck or seagull, never hit the target at all, right? Completely. I hit, I don't know, maybe a plane that was passing by, I might have dinged, I'm not too sure. But the target was safe. And then, after that fiasco, they do the reverse. Everybody that was on the range now has to be under in the bunkers, pointing out where you've been, like, you know, where you shot on the target. Now they give you helmets because of ricochets, because things bounce off. So here I am, again, 5'0", 100 pounds nothing, in this little concrete bunker being shot at. And I signed up for this? Why? But sure enough, I'm sitting there just like, bing, 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 bing. Bullets are bouncing off the poles up above, and I'm pointing out where people missed. And that was a very interesting 2 months of my life. I'll never forget, no matter how much I drink. But think of this safely at night. Pray to God Canada never gets invaded. Because let's face it, I will be your last line of defense, and I can't shoot worth shit. You guys have been fun. I was enjoying that.